Alright, magnificent bastards. Welcome back to Flight School for Dumbasses. I'm Gremlin, and I've racked up about 23,375 approximate flight hours over the last 35 years of flight and space simulation games. You know, so that you don't have to. I've played just about every single kind of flight and space simulator ever made. It's an amazing experience that has been very rewarding and very punishing at multiple different avenues. You know, that's more stick time than I've spent doing anything else in my life that wasn't breathing. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Here's the science, dumbass. Wings work because of air pressure differences. Air moving faster over the curved top of the wing equals lower pressure. Slower air under the wing equals higher pressure. You know, like me. High pressure pushes up, low pressure pulls up, boom, lift. Science, bitch. But when you yank and bank like a crackhead, you screw up the airflow. That's called angle of attack. Push it too far, airflow breaks down, lift vanishes, and you stall. Which is pilot talk for, your wing just said, fuck you, fuck this, I quit. Moral of the story, lift is a delicate bitch. You don't manhandle it, you sweet talk it. Small corrections, smooth inputs. Now here's the kicker. Bernoulli's principle applies to both airplanes and helicopters. Same physics, but how it tries to kill you? Very different. In a fixed-wing aircraft, lift comes from airflow over your wings as you move forward. Screw up your angle of attack, or lose too much speed, you stall. Simple equation. No speed, no lift, no pulse. You're dead. Your wings are chopped into spinning blades, with a rotor wing aircraft, for example. Like, oh, I don't know, a helicopter. Chop, chop. Each rotor blade is a tiny wing making lift, which means a helicopter is basically a bundle of 1,000 tiny stall opportunities. And it's creative as hell about how it's trying to kill you, every second you're flying. Here's the big three ways rotor wing flights like to try to end careers. Retreating blade stall. At high speed, one side of the rotor is advancing into the wind and making good lift, while the other side, the retreating blade, just says, nah, I'm done. Push it too far, and your helicopter rolls over like a drunk Marine falling off a bar stool. Vortex ring state. Descend too fast and with too much power, and your own downwash gets sucked back into the rotors. Suddenly, you're in a self-sustaining tornado of suck. You can't climb, you can't slow down, you're basically on an elevator to hell. And then settling with power. This one's extra cruel. You're at max throttle, begging for lift, and the helicopter just shrugs and says, nope, gravity wins. Usually happens when you're high, hot, and heavy. The triple threat of embarrassment. So yeah, airplanes have one main stall to worry about. Helicopters have a menu of stalls and failures, all of which can end with a smoking crater and your crew chief laughing at your funeral. Onward to part 2. Warbirds. Warbirds are angry grandpas with wings. Big pistons, big torque, and no patience for your bullshit. Takeoff. If you firewall the throttle, torque will flip you faster than a Humvee in a ditch. Feather it in and dance on those pedals. And in flight, you're going to want to be smooth. If you yank the stick, you'll stall, spin, and die like a carnival ride gone wrong. In combat, it's all boom and zoom. Dive, shoot, climb. Don't dogfight in circles, or you'll be target practice for someone smarter than you. Think of a warbird fight like a bar fight. hit hard, get out, don't stick around for the cops. As if warbirds weren't bad enough, jet flight just makes it worse. In every way, almost. You're faster than your brain can process. The only thing between you and a crater is energy management. And, of course, how much sleep you've had the night before and how much caffeine that you're running on. Let's be honest. In early jets, it was like flying refrigerators with engines. You've got to baby your speed, manage your throttle like it's your last beer, and just be careful and reluctant to spend anything on it. Because if the moment you push it forward, it's going to take a lot of fuel. You're going to run out of fuel faster than you can think of once you start running it with, full bore. In supersonic jets, you're nothing but a missile truck, to be honest. I mean, you can forget about the Top Gun bullshit if you're actually wanting to do, flight. Now, in DCS, it's a little bit about the Top Gun bullshit. But your job in a supersonic jet, honestly, is beyond visual range. BVR. Bravo, Victor, Romeo. Radar is your best friend. Keep your energy up, crank after your shot, and don't go chasing tails like you're in a Spitfire. You're not. I promise. If you try to fly an F-14 Tomcat like it's a Spitfire, you're going to rip the wings off any day of the week. Golden rule in a jet, speed is life. Lose it, and you're dead weight with wings. This is especially true for things like the Phantom. And now, on to Part 4. As you might have guessed, Part 4 is helicopters. And they're a special little breed of things. I run the VHSC-21 Gremlins. It's a little squadron on DCS that's part of the Nightmare Mafia. You might have heard of us. We do a lot of helping with the rookie mistakes and, teaching people to fly. Hence what these videos are actually all about. I've seen every kind of crash you can imagine in DCS, and sometimes in real life. I've watched airshow videos, I've been to more than a few in my lifetime. And I've seen, pros lawn-darting million-dollar jets to rookies nosediving their Cessna. It's a thing. It happens. If you haven't crashed yet, it's just because you haven't been trying hard enough. Honestly. No, let's be honest. Safety first. But the issue is that equipment failure is going to happen to you at some point in your aviation career. Preparing for it now, especially with a helicopter, is going to be important. Because they're the most honest aircraft out there. They want to kill you from the moment you start them. With takeoff in a helicopter, you're going to want to ease your collective and work the pedals. If you slam it, you're going to roll over like a boot doing push-ups drunk. Hovering is black magic. Think balancing a bowling ball and a dildo during an earthquake. Tiny, tiny corrections. Breathe on the stick. Don't choke it like it owes you rent. And with flight in a helicopter, transition smooth and trim constantly. Just because I don't use trim doesn't mean you should make my mistakes. It's actually a really bad habit to get into. Stay low, pop up, fire, duck back down again. The 5 Ds. Oh, wrong movie. If you try to be an A-10, you'll end up as a smoking crater. It's a goal, apparently, of almost every pilot in DCS to be a crater at least one time a night. And remember those death traps I warned you about earlier? Retreating blade stall, vortex ring state, and settling with power. They're all three always trying to kill you. And with ground effect, some of these are even more pronounced. So, in Helos, survival isn't about being flashy. It's about being sneaky enough to strike first, lucky enough to dodge physics, and ugly enough to still walk away. So, there you have it, grunts. Warbirds punish. Jets outrun your brain, and helicopters just plain hate you. I think that's all 3 that we've covered today. Well, that and flight mechanics. That was part 1. Understand lift. Respect your aircraft and stop flying like you're drunk in GTA. Do that, and maybe you'll live long enough to laugh when your, buddy invariably augers their jet into the ground in DCS. This is Gremlin, CEO of the VHSC-21 Gremlins, signing off. Fly safe, crash funny, and don't suck. Gremlins out.